random thoughts in my head, and sometimes I let them come out of my mouth.
Hi guys, welcome back to Random Thoughts. We have with us our guest today, Ashley. Welcome back,
really
Ashley.
a guest. I'm like co-host.
I
at
know.
this
I
point.
feel like that. It's funny. I was just watching one of our old videos, and that's exactly what we said in that old video too. We're like, I'm gonna stop calling you a guest. It's like you're always here. All right. So for this Random Thoughts today, I thought it'd be fun if we did a Would You Rather.
Okay.
I like scenarios with would you rathers, not just do this or do that. So here's my scenario. You're walking, you're chilling, you just came from the movies because you know how you do. And a witch comes up to you and tells you for the rest of your life you're going to be always hot or always cold, which you can choose which one you're going to do. Which would you rather be?
First of all, it's a witch. I'm about to be like, I rebuke thee in the name of Jesus. Stay away from me. But if it was anybody else and they're like, I'm going to make you cold or I'm going to make you hot.
And it's the rest of your life.
The rest of your life. I would say cold.
Why?
Because, like, if you're cold, you could, like, put all kinds of layers on.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're hot, that requires you removing clothing.
That's true. That was what my answer was going to be too, for the same reason. Like, it's easier to get warmer than it is to get cooler.
Right.
Like, just like being perpetually hot, it's like you're going to be baking and just walking around naked all the time, and you know.
And then, like, being next to somebody gives you body heat.
Yeah, and that's a problem. Being a person who's always cold though, so it wouldn't really change anything.
Yeah.
I just tell the witch, too late. Like, I'll always go.
Right. I'm generally just a cold feeling person, too.
Same witch, same movie theater. We're walking out. You got to give up chocolate or cheese. Rest of life. What are we doing? You doing? Because I don't know if we're going to pick the same thing.
I could give up cheese. First of all, there's a lot of plant-based options for cheese now.
I haven't found a plant-based cheese that I like. I went and bought one. I bought like supposed to be like a plant-based cheddar.
Was it Daya?
I can't remember the brand. All I know is when I opened the bag, it smelled. And I was just like, oh my God. This is the most disgusting and not in a good way smelling cheese.
Yeah.
No.
And then, like, there's people that can make, like, cheese out of, like, nuts somehow. Like,
yeah, I've seen that where they take cashews and...
Yeah. So I feel like there's a lot of substitutions for cheese. But there's not really substitutions for chocolate.
Okay.
And I feel like I at least need chocolate once a month. If you're a woman, you know what I'm talking about.
I'm the opposite. I could give up chocolate. I am not a once a month chocolate eater. If anything, when it's that time of month for me, I have very specific. I want some jalapeno Cheetos. That's all I
That
want.
is very specific.
I'm very specific. And I've had people try to give me Cheeto Puffs, like any other kind of Cheeto, and I am still not happy until I get my jalapeno Cheetos.
Chocolate does it for me.
Okay, so now you've made those decisions. You're heading home. You get home to your husband. He says, honey, we're being kicked out of our house.
Mm-hmm.
We are given two choices. We either go move into an underwater cave or to the jungle in a tree house. Where are you going?
The jungle and the tree house.
Why?
Because I needed a mosquito net. And, like, that's actually something that I would do anyway. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't feel threatened by the jungle, especially if you're in a tree house because you're, like, above the ground. So the, like, critters aren't as much of a threat. And then, like, to be in an underwater cave, like, that just seems, like, really depressing. Like, not having sunlight and, like, I just don't do good with water. And then, like, it just seems like it would be really cold. Like, there's nothing good about cave life, in my opinion. Not that I have any experience.
Okay, I can see that. I'm with you on that. Like, I definitely am the type of person who, is like a human plant. I need the sun. Like water is good, but like the sun, I need it. And I just feel like being underwater, where's the sun coming from?
Right.
Like I really need sunlight, and in a cave, that's just not gonna do it for me. So I'd really rather be in the jungle. Now, will I be happy in the jungle? No.
I could be happy in the jungle.
I think it might take me a while, just because I can see me being bugging out about all the bugs and whatnot. I could see me being that person where you're living in your jungle. John decides he's not about this jungle life. You got to get a new husband. Is he going to be a vampire or a werewolf?
Now, are we talking Edward Cullen vampire? Because if so, then yes. But
you know how I feel about Edward Cullen type vampires.
So Edward Cullen, yes. But
okay.
If we're not talking Edward and Jacob and we're just talking like
traditional lore vampires, yeah, that's who we're talking.
Okay. Probably a werewolf. Because like I said, I'm already a cold person, and vampires are cold and werewolves are warm. And werewolves don't really, like, I don't know, like, they don't really need to eat people. Like, they do, but, like, I feel like I'd be scared. Like, I'd be sleeping in the middle of the night, and, like, the vampire would just come and bite my neck and make me a vampire. But, like, with the werewolf, especially if we're living in the jungle, like, there's enough things for the werewolf to eat.
True.
So I would pick the werewolf.
Okay. I
have a man of mine with a little hair on his chest.
I feel like as much as I love vampires, like, my entire life I've loved vampires, I think I'm with you on the werewolf. Because my thing is, I like to be out and about and doing things. And, like, if I'm married to a vampire, we can only do things at night. He can't be out in the day and whatnot.
Well, I'm a night owl, though, so that kind of works for me. But I'm
not. And with a werewolf, it's like, okay, he's got his time of the month. I got my time of the month.
But aren't werewolves night owls, too? Like, they're always howling at the moon.
Okay, but they can be out during the day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like a vampire husband would be like, honey, you know I can't be out during the day.
That's true.
Whereas a werewolf husband, he's only down, like, when the moon is out. Like,
Yep.
Hello.
More of a reason for me to pick werewolf.
Right? So it's like, he's got a time of the month. I could lock him up during his time of the month. Give him some, deer, antelope, whatever's in the jungle. I mean, that sounds like wood stuff, not jungle stuff. But either way, I'll find some jungle animals, give him those, and then we're good the rest of the year. Like, I think I'm with you. I think I could be married to a werewolf. We'll be all right with that. Okay. Now, so you got your werewolf husband.
Yes.
You're in the jungle. You've decided, you know what? I got to become a superhero. Are you becoming Batgirl or Spider-Girl? Like this Spider-Man or Batman? Who are you becoming?
Spider-Girl?
Okay.
Because, like, when I think of Spider-Man, I think of, like, all the, like, web slinging and him, like, swinging from, like, building to building.
And I mean, you are already in the jungle.
Right. So I just feel like it would work really well.
Yeah.
Like, what does Batman even really do?
I mean, he's smart. He's a detective. He got gadgets. But I'm with you. I'd rather the Spider-Man. Like, I could do more.
The Batmobile doesn't really serve a purpose in the jungle.
That is very true. And, jungle people need saving while swinging and whatnot. So, okay. I like that.
Tarzan was basically like the Spider-Man of the jungle.
So you're in the jungle. You're now Spider-Man or Spider-Girl. Why can't you be Spider-Woman? Like, why do we downgrade it to girl?
Right.
Anyway, so you're Spider-Woman. You're getting old. Would you rather go mentally old or physically old first?
Physically. I think I would pick to age physically over mentally, because my werewolf husband could just, like, help me.
True.
And I feel like without mentally being aware of things, like, that's just sad. Like, I would rather just be stationary but, like, have a great memory and remember things than to, like, not remember stuff and then just be active.
Okay, so I'm going opposite on this one, and I know this is a crazy thought, but I would hate, this is just me personally, to be mentally aware and be physically trapped in my body. Like, there's nothing I could do. I would rather forget, like, almost, I guess, have, you know, I don't want to say Alzheimer's, because I'm not, like, necessarily trying to say I want to forget everything, but I would you know what? This is such a hard one. Because it's not saying necessarily you're incapable of doing anything. You're just aging more.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess, yeah, I'd go with aging more physically than mentally, because you're right. Like, other people in your family could help you do the things you need to do, and at least you're mentally aware of what's going on, and you can help
have conversations with people. Yeah,
because conversation is important.
It is
to
important.
Me. And if we've been married and howling at the moon all these years, I gotta be able to talk to you. I like that. Yeah, so I'm going with you. We're physically gonna change.
I know how hard it is for you to agree with me.
Hey, I've agreed with a lot of these things, just not the chocolate over cheese. It's not a thing I can do. Okay, so you're now physically challenged. You know, I don't know, maybe we're just not getting around as well. Do you have really bad breath or funky feet?
I mean, I'm able to correct either, right?
No, you're stuck with these things rest of your old life.
But, like, I don't understand why I can't, like, chew on a twig to fix my teeth or my breath.
Your breath is humming. Like, you got halitosis. There's nothing you can do to get rid of it. Or the feet. Every time you take your shoes off, Jesus
are my
Christ.
feet, like, in pain? Like,
no, they're just really funky. Like, there's nothing you can do to get rid of the funk.
Funky smelly or, like, funky looking, too?
Funky smelling. They look just fine.
I would rather my feet smell than my breath smell.
Your minute your werewolf husband gets down to your feet, he's like, oh, God, no.
Yeah, no. I would rather that my feet smell than my breath smell, because, like, you don't need to be down there by my feet, but I would like you to be near my face, kissing me, talking to me, like, sleeping next to me. Like, I feel like it would be much more impactful if I had a stinky breath versus stinky feet.
I'm going to agree with you again, because, like I just said, conversation is important. Yeah. And if you can't even face me to talk to me because my halitosis is killing it, like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, honey. And no one says I have to take shoes off. I can have bedroom shoes that, you know, I only wear in bed, so you don't ever have to smell my feet.
I'd be wrapping them in leaves or something.
Okay, so you're in the jungle. You're eating your chocolate. You're married to a werewolf. You've been Spider-Man, but now you become physically challenged with age. Your feet stink. You're always wearing shoes. Would you rather be talking to animals or speaking every spoken language in the universe?
In this particular instance, animals, because I feel like it's really not beneficial for me to be speaking to other humans
in the jungle
in their dialects. Because I feel like if I'm in the jungle, I'm not going to be around a lot of people. I want to be around a lot of animals.
I mean, how do you know the jungle's not going to get built up over your ages of living there? People could start building tree houses and...
That's a lot of contingency, though. Having animals around is a sure thing.
That is true.
And since I'm not physically well, I'll be able to have the animals help me with things and ask them to do things for me.
I get it. And I agree with you there, but I think I'd still rather be able to speak every language. Because who's to say, just because I live in the jungle doesn't mean I'm not going on vacations and whatnot. I don't need some kind of translator. I just, you know, bam, I know it already. I love languages, though.
So does, like, Google Translate just not exist?
It does, but like if I know it, I don't have to use Translate.
To my knowledge, there's no Google Translate for speaking animal. So another reason why I would choose speaking animal, because there's no technology that substitutes that.
Let's just say I'm not an animal person.
Okay,
so
I am.
I don't want to talk to the animals in the jungle.
I'd be homies with all of them.
I would look at them and be like, Every time they came up to talk to me, I'd be like, God, why again? Like, go somewhere. No. Don't y'all have animal friends or something?
I love all of them.
Okay. That's all the would you rather that I've got.
That's it.
Yes. because I really didn't think of more questions. I didn't. If you guys have a good would you rather question for us, leave it in the comments below. And I think we came up with a really good story. Like, I would love to live in the jungle with my werewolf husband speaking every language.
I mean, I wouldn't love it, but I mean, it beats the alternatives.
Guys, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll check you next video.
Bye.
Bye.